Well, good evening, Information Nation. It's your girl, Miss Info. Lady on the go, lady in the know. I'm tired. You have reached the Information Nation where knowledge is shared and wisdom exchanged for the benefit and the betterment of a people. Yes, it's been a minute. I have tried to get on several times to do my video. And every time I turn around, something came up. By the way, the Bulldogs won tonight. I didn't go. I couldn't go. I was here working on my new podcast. I've got new microphones and what I got? Equipment that I'm working. Some equipment here that I got. I'm trying to get there. I know I said I had a launch ready for February 15th. That didn't work out. I was away for Galentine's, and by the time I got back, I just ran out of time. So, what I want to talk to you about today is homeopathic medicine, or old-time remedies that still work. Like when they said, don't eat Vic salve, we not only ate it, we slept with it, put it under our lip, wrapped up like a mummy, and in the morning, voila. It was like magic. But clearly you can read on the label where it says not to be ingested. And I know our people could read, but that didn't matter. We ate that stuff like it was bubble gum. So have you ever wondered why our grandparents rarely went to the ER or a doctor's visit for that matter? Yeah. My grandmother only went if it was absolutely necessary. She had to be bleeding, her arm hanging off. She took care of everything at home. It had to be necessary, and even then, you better know that she was practically near death. Why, you ask? Well, for one thing, the cost. It was cost prohibitive. I mean, she had worked as a private duty nurse. She had money set aside. She owned her own home. But near her latter years, she gotten diabetes, developed heart disease. Probably these things were there. But you know, in the moment when you're working, taking care of kids and grandkids, because she raised me and my sister, you don't think about it. So she didn't have health insurance until she started collecting Social Security and getting Medicare. Now, I'm not sure how good or what her plan was or what it covered. I only remember her going very sparingly and preparing salves and lotions and potions in the kitchen, on the kitchen counter, and looking like a mad scientist. So she would work quickly and efficiently from memory. Nothing was written down. She just knew if this happened, you need that. And there were no books. Nothing was written down. Not a paper in sight. And she was barking out the orders. Get me that. Go over there. Go down in the basement. Because we had a basement that had red mud still in it. Red clay. That's what they called it. I remember my mom telling me that some pregnant women used to crave it and eat it. Yeah. That red clay that I called, or my grandmother used to call it, Georgia red clay. I don't know. Here we were in the north with Georgia red clay. But anyway, she be telling us to get alcohol, cheesecloth, spider webs. Yeah, spider webs. Yeah, it was out of like some sci-fi flick, you know? Anyway, I remember a dog bit me. Not real deep. It broke the skin, went to the second layer, and I was bleeding pretty good. So my grandmother cleaned it up, cleaned me off, cleaned everything off, stopped the bleeding, and then she proceeded to go in the corner of the porch, the outside porch, the back porch, and collect spider webs. She took those spider webs and put them on my dog bite and covered it over with a white, I wanted to say it wasn't a bandage, maybe it was cheesecloth. And she wrapped it and wrapped it, left the spider webs on it, wrapped it and wrapped it, put some tape on it, sent me to bed. The next day, she took them off, took the bandage off, and there was where the skin and the spider webs had joined or fused together. Yeah, like magic. Today, I never had a stitch, but today, it looks like I had stitches there. Yeah, miraculous. So, I thought today I would talk to you about homeopathic remedies, old wives' tales, old things that we know that our grandparents or great-grandparents used when we were sick. And homeopathic medicine has been around for more than 200 years. And why? Because it works. It's a gentle approach. You know, there is nothing harsh about homeopathic medicine. Mainly, it's things that we are familiar with. Mainly, it is items that we have around the household. And it stimulates the body's natural healing processes, allowing it to restore balance and harmony in our lives, in our bodies, right? So I have some notes here. I'm going to talk to you about some things that you probably have lying around in the house. But it is important to remember that I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. So, you know, do your homework, do your due diligence. Don't start anything based on something that I've said, right? It's important to remember that homeopathic medicine, or the practice of homeopathy, should not be used as a substitute for professional medical advice, okay? If you are seriously ill, go to the doctor. All right? So, let's take a look at some of the things that we may have lying around and some of their medicinal purposes. How about peppermint? Peppermint oil. It's used for diarrhea and some stomach issues. Yes. Peppermint. Honey. Yeah, honey. Honey might help with coughs and colds and help to ease inflammation. Turmeric or turmeric. Potatoes. It eliminates and alleviates pain and inflammation and is thought to be helpful with arthritis. Yeah. Skin rashes, and some even think it aids in the treatment of ulcers. Ginger. For thousands of years, ginger was used to treat stomach aches and diarrhea and nausea. How about sassafras? Oh, sassafras tea. It's believed that it purifies the blood and treats joint pain. Snake root. Now, I don't even know what snake root is, but it's said to use to purify the body. I'm going to have to put it into Google and see if it's a plant or an animal. See if I can get some information, because I never heard about it. Snake root is a term that's used to refer to several different plants, but one of the most well-known is white snake root. This plant is native to North America and belongs to the sunflower family. Wow. It has clusters of small white flowers and is often found in shady areas like in woods and along roadsides. Historically, it was believed to have medicinal properties and were used by Native American Indians and the early settlers to treat snake bites and other ailments. However, it's important to note that snake root contains a toxin called trematol, which can be harmful if ingested by humans or animals. Yeah, this toxin can cause a condition known as milk sickness when it contaminates the milk of cows that have grazed on the plant. So, due to its toxicity, using white snake root is not recommended. However, it does remain to be an interesting plant with a long history. Look it up if you're interested in finding out more about snake root. Okra. The leaves were used as poultices for boils and sores. I never liked the way okra tasted. Ugh, it was too slimy for me. Couldn't stay in my mouth. How about wild licorice? It's used to treat coughs and fever. And then there's a lot of herbal teas are used to treat colds and fevers and stomach aches. We already talked about spider webs, that they promote the healing of cuts, burns, and open wounds. And believe it or not, spider webs have been known to stop bleeding, treat infections, reduce inflammation, and used for toothaches. Wow, can you imagine putting a spider web in your mouth for a toothache? I couldn't. How about the brown paper bag? Now, that was an old wives' tale, an old remedy, but I know it works because my grandmother used it many times when I had a nosebleed. Go get me a brown paper bag, gal. Bring the bag back, tear it off, small pieces, fold it over, wet it so that it was pliable, and put it under your top lip. Stop that bleeding in a heartbeat. Green tea is a powerful source of antioxidant. It protects your cells from damage and fights disease. May even lower your chances of heart disease. Garlic lowers blood pressure and cholesterol levels. And how about chicken soup? Yeah, chicken soup. Oddly enough, it works. It's known to ease the symptoms of cold and flu. What it does is it clears out nasal fluids and congestion. Chicken soup. Cinnamon. Known to control blood sugar in people with prediabetes. However, in large doses, cinnamon is bad for your liver. Excuse me. Yeah. And I don't know how much a large dose is, but I think used over and over again over time, bad for your liver. Chili peppers for pain and soreness. They have an ingredient in them called capsaicin. CAPSAICIN. And now you find that substance in many popular topical creams for managing pain. Rubbing in icy hot and some of them other ones. That's what they have in them for managing pain. How about shiitake mushrooms? They promote anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. And they have a compound extract in them called AHCC. That's in these mushrooms. And in laboratory settings, this AHCC has an effect on cancer cells and aids the immune system. Okay. They're on to something with that. Shiitake mushrooms. I don't like the way they taste. Okay, bone broth and shiitake mushrooms used 5 to 10 grams every day boosts the immune system after a few weeks. I don't know. I got that from healthline.com. 5 to 10 grams of bone broth and shiitake mushrooms every day boosts the immune system after a few weeks. Eucalyptus oil for pain relief. It was found to have a morphine-like effect on mice in a clinical setting. Also known to relieve body aches after inhalation, sort of like Vicks Vapor, where you inhale that on. Oh, I could never put that up my nose. Oh Lord. But our people have inhaled Vicks and eaten it too. But it's not for everybody, especially not for infants. Okay? Sort of like that other stuff. What is it? Paregoric, Coca-Cola syrup. Yeah, if you remember some, put them in the comments. Let me see some of the ones that your family had used for homeopathic medicine. Lavender, used for migraine relief and anxiety. Mint, for muscle pain and digestion. Magnesium-rich foods for everything else. Magnesium is often associated with growth and maintenance of bones. It's also essential in nerve and muscle function. Foods that are high in magnesium are tofu, lentils, whole grains, fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and halibut, and bananas. Yeah, bananas. So, what are some of the benefits of home remedies? Well, again, they're gentle, helpful, and you have to decide what is best for you. I'm not a doctor, nor do I study medicine. I just report the findings. After I look it up, I get inquisitive and I look it up. So I'm just reporting what I found. Hopefully something has been said here that's been helpful. Share it. But be careful. Don't change anything unless you check with your doctor first. All right? Check with your doctor first. Why? Because you don't know what you don't know. All right, Information Nation. Take care. Till we meet again.